This is the Abdul video to Adam. Abdul. You're like, who is Abdul? Is he a nice guy? Where the fuck is this Adam Abdul man? Is he in Oklahoma City? Or is he in Pakistan? Or is he in Malaysia? Or, oh, I know, he must be from Japan. Oh, Adam. All right, we got to talk about Adam Malik in my life story. Because, oh, by the way, hey, Adam, this is Jonathan Fibonojji. You're like, who the fuck is Fibonojji and why is Adrian sending me your link? And I don't want to hire you. I'm a nuclear pharmacist. Well, my name is Jonathan Fibonojji, and I am bringing a message to Adam Abdul Malik. Oh, Malik. Oh, Malik. Malik, is it Adam? Adam, why didn't you give me any of your weed when we were growing up? So seriously, Adam, I mean, come on, dude. You know, one of my earliest memories of comedy, or attempted comedy, was my Adam Abdul Malik would smoke his pipe, his little weed pipe in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma, Duncan, baby. Camelback, nigga, I ain't scared. And then, it's like, dude, Adam, if you were really smart, and Adam is fucking smart, dude, you just would have, come on, dude. You should have just said, all right, dude. See, Adam and I would fight all the time. We should have done a peace pipe. This is my peace pipe to Adam. Bless Adam Malik. You know, Adam, I befriended my, Rebecca. I befriended my mom. And, you know, then I talked about, this is my YouTube channel, and I talked about forgiveness, and I talked about, so today's theme is forgiveness, and it's hard to talk about my mom without talking about Adam. And Adam's a good guy, dude. He's made in the image of God just like me, and he has his own story. He grew up, I think, he told us Malaysia, but I think he's from Pakistan. After 9/11, this is kind of one of those true stories, like, well, I like to joke. I said, you know, all my good stories talk about, you know, once I got high or once I met a girl. But the truth is, there's a third category, is let me tell you some family stories. So Adam, my mom, wonder-bred white woman, Church of Christ from Oklahoma, marries Adam Abdul Malik. He's now a nuclear pharmacist. So you got to picture this. This is Bart Simpson era. You just can't truly appreciate. I'm trying to show you how intelligent Adam is. While I talk about forgiveness, but I also want to kind of share some truthful LOLs, because for real, dude, trying to make this guy laugh was part of my mission, because he and I had that typical stepson, and I called him dad. For a long time, my name is Jonathan Malik. So I started changing my name early. Identity issues of, you know, is my name this name, Malik, and then I decided, I remember when I was 12 years old, I'm in Miss Smiley's class. You're like, oh my goodness, you're so lying about that. No, I'm not lying, but I will tell you a story about lions. I was in Miss Smiley's class in Oklahoma City, and I just, you know, if you ever have a stepdad, you know what that feeling is like. Is, you know, you get your role, the roll is called, and you have to answer by your real legal name, and all the kids snicker because they're like, who's John so-and-so? And I'm like, he's John Malik, and my identity was John Malik. And then that day I decided, fuck Adam, I was going to go by my legal name. And so I became, in that moment, my Jonathan something else. And then, you know, that was my name forever. And one of the issues that happened with that, in that issue of identity, is in changing my name, you change your identity. And so I changed my name from Malik to something else. And so, anyway, Adam, that's kind of some background. Today I'm doing a YouTube channel. I got a lion story, and then I want to show you a hawkeye, because I think you would appreciate this. Again, this is on forgiveness, and earlier I talked about how we have to forgive people even when they don't want to be forgiven, and they don't even fucking care. And sometimes, Adam, I was talking to people in this earlier video. You can just watch it. The hardest people to forgive are the people who don't fucking care, and would probably do it again. And so, and then I talked about how forgiveness is tied to hurt and harm. And let me tell you I'll tell you a God story, and I'll tell you a lion and Adam story, kind of all in the same one. Is I'm at this point in my age, I was probably how old? I was out of college. I was in my house with my then wife, and and I was watching National Geographic, and they were talking about how this new lion came in, and I think the old lion had been killed, and so in the wild, the new lion came in, and then it showed the new lion killing, or the dead cubs, because in the wild, once a new lion comes in, the old lion's cubs are killed, and that's what happens in the wild. I saw the National Geographic, and while that is sad and heartbreaking, that brought me comfort, because Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever name you want to call it. By the way, Adam, in Malaysia, what is the name for God? Is it Jehovah, Adonai, El Shaddai, Yahweh? I don't know. But back to National Geographic, I'm watching this, and that brought me comfort, because that brought me comfort to where Adam was when he married my mom, and all the abuse and all that shit. Is he was really just, in many ways, a savage man, just a very, very, very educated savage man. Bart Simpson, I'll give you kind of a true story to kind of give you an idea of the perfect metaphor of my family. Is my stepdad, Adam, who this video is going to, who I'm hopefully going to show him a Hawkeye. In fact, let me just kind of start driving that direction. You're like, is that Hawkeye going to stay? What's he doing? Well, let me kind of put some music on, figure out where I'm going. Because, I talked about forgiveness and how you want to forgive people. Sometimes you just meet people, you have your most honest conversation possible. Say, hey, Adam, can you hear me, dude? I told Adrian to text you, and Adrian's my sister. She's from the new family, so a lot of the stories that I would share, she would probably deny, or not even, well, she was, a kid. She doesn't remember the John Malick years. She didn't remember the sirens, the beeps. She didn't remember that stuff. So I think I've transferred a lot of my anger, my screams, onto her kids, and I've tried to forgive them, but it's really hard, So I'll show you something. Oh, and by the way, if you're a step kid and you were like one of the cubs that was killed, or displaced, or put in foster families, or lived with relatives, if that was you, don't waste your time talking to the new family, because they don't know those stories, because they were on that side. So anyway, Adam, just want to let you know. Adam, here's a true story. I really did love you. I called you Dad because you were a good guy. So here you go, Adam. You're like, oh, is that Hawkeye going to stay there? He's asking his stepdad for weed, and it's going to, what the f***? So here we go. Anyway, Adam, let me plug this shit in and show you some. You're like, what is he talking? Is he going to be like, is he going to talk about the world's stage, and you should close your eyes and use your imagination, listen carefully? And is the director yelling, cut? Like, no, this is a forgiveness video to Abdul. And see, Adam and I, we growing up with Adam, trying to make him laugh, and that's how I tried to fix things. I try to make people laugh. And so we would watch MASH. And here I'm walking out here, just kind of dealing with my own, I like to go to the mountains, get out in nature, get away from the city, and I see this is where they filmed MASH, and I'm like, who would really appreciate this scene right here? Adam. Oh, this is interesting. This scene also was the scene for some other show, and even Planet of the Apes. So, Adam, today's Forgiveness Day. Hope you're good. I hope you enjoyed it, because this is MASH. Remember that? And, like I said earlier, talking about forgiveness, and I befriended my mom. She doesn't understand these videos either. So you guys could probably go get some coffee and do kind of like the old days where you just sort of try to figure out what my problem was. But ultimately, it's just a guy trying to do his best. And right now, I know I need to forgive. And I also know you need forgiveness, whether you want it or not. So, Adam, Abdul, Jonathan, John, I forgive you. And forgive me for being a kid and being a loudmouth. Forgive me for being protective of my mom. And forgive me for being, 3 and 4. I think you married my mom when I was 2, so forgive me. A lot of those things you probably don't remember, but I deal with them all the time. All the time. Look at that. Full circle. Thank you. The director yells, cut.